People often ask me, what's actually the difficulty when building a large cryptocurrency farm? Usually these people have already built a computer, they know the different parts that go in, and the strange thing about it, it's really difficult to answer, because they're completely right. Plugging in all the cables in the right way and putting all the components together is not very difficult. The difficulty is earlier than that. The difficulty is how to handle the logistics and the preparation for building a farm of this scale. Hi, I'm Philip Salter. I'm handling mining operations for Genesis Mining here in Iceland. When you're building a cryptocurrency mining rig for your home, you order all the hardware from some online store, you wait for it to be delivered to your doorstep, you unbox all the boxes, plug everything together, and then that's it, you've got one. Now, when you're trying to do this in a very large scale, to build thousands of these machines, that's where things get complicated. The reason is that the usual way of just ordering stuff from online stores breaks apart at a certain scale. So if you're trying to order 10 graphics cards, they'll probably be fine. If you try to order 50, some might start saying no. And if you start ordering thousands of them, they won't even believe you. They won't even reply to your email. So you have to find a different way to source material. Obviously, we're at a large scale, so we're going straight to the manufacturers of the different hardware components. We have a lot of custom hardware. We have lots of stuff that just did not work out for us in the way that it's sold in online stores or any store, and we had to design our own and have it made. That's of course another dimension of making things more complicated, because not just you have to talk to a manufacturer and get a shipping date and organize shipping and all this kind of stuff. You have to think about this early enough to design your product, to talk with the manufacturer to make sure he understood correctly what you want, to have him produce it, to then deal with some kind of problems which usually happen, and then deal with the logistics. So the whole time frame for the project is getting larger and larger. The amount of communication needed for the project is getting bigger and bigger. And people don't see it coming because it's just problems that you're not faced with if you're just looking at it from the technical side. These are just real-world problems that you get with large scale. And it's something that you have to be on top of from the very beginning, otherwise your entire project will be delayed by a lot. Luckily, we have lots of experience here with these kind of small, annoying problems. And I'd like to say that at this point, we've kind of seen it all. At least the things that can really go bad have already gone wrong once. So we are extra careful and just basically think about these problems in advance and try to solve them before they even happen. For example, we order a couple % more of everything than we actually need, because of course some of them will be faulty, some of them will be broken, some of them will be missing, some of them will be lost or something. The most scary part of a build-out is when you're almost done, right? You've done all the major steps, everything seems fine and nothing has gone wrong, because at that point you know something's going to go wrong. You just don't know what and when. And the later it is in the build-out, the less time you have to fix it, right? So I'd rather have something go wrong in the very beginning, and then it's a big problem and you fix it and it takes you a week, but then everything goes smooth. Just using Hive, we managed to monitor thousands of rigs with 2 maintenance guys. Why 2? Because if one is sick, the other one can take over. I started developing software for Genesis Mining. I was working on a monitoring product for monitoring Bitcoin mining farms. It was called GenMon, Genesis Monitoring. And it came to a point where Stefan came to me and said, "Hey Phil, we've got this new build-out starting in Iceland. Why don't you come along?" I go, "All right, great, Iceland, it's nice. Right? It's a great countryside, many people go there for tourism, why not, why not?" Fast forward 1 month, we're sitting in a tiny office space beside a roaring Bitcoin farm, super loud. And that's basically, in that kind of space, at 3 a.m. in the morning, that's when the most important features of the monitoring software were written, because it was just absolutely needed. And just by spending a lot of time together and traveling from location to location, building Bitcoin farms, looking at other people's installations, learning from many, many mistakes and many problems that we had on the way, We develop the software feature for feature, piece by piece, to try to automate as much as possible. Genmon is now called Genesis Hive. It's our central software for deploying new farms, maintaining the farms that we are running, and managing access control and different things about the farm. These 3 points are the key components, because a farm doesn't always look the same. There's different stages in how a farm operates. First, of course, you're building a farm. We call this the deployment phase. You are ordering new hardware, you are building a new data center, you're putting the hardware into the shelves, and you want everything mining as quick as possible. Of course, every day counts. This is what the deployment phase does in Hive. So when you want to add a new miner into Hive, all you do is you put it in the shelf, you connect it to the power and to the internet, and it automatically detects which kind of miner there is. It'll automatically configure it to mine for you, and basically get it all set up and running. So all you have to worry about when you're building a mining farm with Hive is just to install Hive first, so it's watching the space, and then slide the miners into the shelf. So when you have a running Bitcoin farm, right, which was your goal all along, from the very beginning, then you will notice very quickly that it's not actually running that well. So this is where Hive comes in again. Hive tries to help you as much as possible with this process. Obviously, Hive cannot resolder a burnt connection anywhere, it's software, but it can fix all kinds of configuration problems, mining software kind of problems, and firmware upgrades, for example. If you use Hive the right way and you have everything set up right, then the only thing you actually need to do physically in the farm is to fix things or replace things that are broken. For example here, this is like 20 cables, right? All kinds of different cables. Each cable can burn. That's the only thing that Hive can't fix. But Hive can help you fix it. Hive can help you find the problem. You have 1,000 miners in your farm. Which one is it? So actually, the way you set up Hive is you assign each rig, each miner, a unique location, which means Hive knows which machines are close to each other. Hive knows which machine is where. Hive can show you heat maps showing you, oh, this is your row of shelves. This part is much hotter than this part. This is how Hive deals with the maintenance part of the farm. While the farm is running, how do I keep it running as efficiently as possible, with at least work power as possible? What else do you need when you're running a farm? From a management point of view, you want to make sure that you control, and only you control, how they are configured. That's the management part of Hive. So automatically being able to switch the address to where the miners are mining to, where the coins are actually sent that are mined. And to be able to change other kind of configuration parameters, not just the mining address, but all kinds of different config parameters, and also automatically changing the firmware of miners and just doing all of the software stuff in a completely automated, autonomous way is one of the main features of Hive. It's very important if you want to scale your mining operation. If you want to do 1 or 2 miners at home by yourself, you can do it any way you want. You can do it completely manually, it's no problem. But already at 10 miners, it's already getting very annoying and time consuming. Because we've realized that there's no other product out there that allows you to monitor your farm this way. There's other monitoring solutions out there, but they're not targeted for the big miner. Like for the big mining facility, industrial scale mining. And that's what Hive does.